that game for you yesterday, how you're feeling today, and just kind of go over some of the hits that you took.
Yeah. I thought from the game standpoint, just kind of started a little slow, whether that was just the tempo getting in and out of the huddle, execution, kind of felt like we fell behind the sticks early, and it's hard to do on the road in Buffalo in those conditions and all that good stuff. So then we picked it up later and kind of found our groove and started moving the ball well. We just had some unfortunate, turnovers here and there and all that good stuff. But yeah. And then as far as the hits, I mean, that's football. It's part that you don't miss during because it hurts, but there's part of it that you do miss because you do want to prove, because you want to prove to your guys, like, listen, I'm willing to hang in there and take the hits necessary to move the ball down the field and show them that you're willing to lay it all out there for them.
Mike, that second hit like for you, after the game, you go to the hospital. Can you tell us what happened there?
Yeah, I just went there to get a CAT scan or CT scan, whatever they call it, and just to make sure I was good to go for flying, which I was. There were no issues, and I was back on the team plan before we knew it.
Mike, how are you feeling today?
Feel good. I mean, no, I don't feel like $100 because I just played a football game, but no, I feel good. Picked my kids up out of the cribs this morning, played with them for a little bit. They tackled me, felt fine. So no, I feel good.
Mike, you said, it's football, but that second hit in particular, I don't think most of us have seen a guy get hit that hard and then for you to come back. Have you watched those hits? And I mean, like, just from your perspective, what did you see?
Yeah. I have watched those hits. The first one looked a little worse than what it actually was. I just kind of lost my wind. So once I got it back, I was back out there. But the second one definitely looks how it felt. It was a clean hit. I mean, he got me good. Running start. They made a good play. Tried to get the back shoulder seam to Conklin. Just couldn't get enough on it. But, yeah, it was football play.
As you're here right now, do you feel like Robert said you're preparing as if you're going to play. Do you feel like you'll be able to play this week?
Yeah, I do. I feel good. I'm going to prepare as such, and I feel like I can play, and I feel like I'm ready to roll.
Mike, anywhere in your career, high school, college, have you had a rib injury before? And have you ever played? Do you think you could, or have you ever played with one of those? I think they're called like flap jackets for your ribs.
Yeah, I've played with those before. I haven't had a rib injury prior to this, but yeah, I mean, quarterbacks wear flap jackets all the time, so that won't be too out of the ordinary.
Hey, Mike, outside of the rib stuff, Robert Saleh yesterday after the game was talking about how we're going to see those guys again, talking about the Bills as in you guys are going to see them in the playoffs kind of thing. What does it mean when you hear your coach talk about that with some confidence? And how do you feel about that, like that you guys are still a playoff team?
No, yeah, we believe it wholeheartedly. And yeah, our goal is to see them again because that means, like you said, we'll be in the playoffs. So yeah, so I think that's December football, especially from here on out. Every game is essentially a playoff game for us. And we have to treat it as such with urgency and professionalism and going in, knowing that this time of year when you can get banged up, reps might not be there as much as they were in the beginning of the season. So you got to take advantage of what you do get, and the walkthroughs. I think we really got to hone in on those. And I know we got some young guys on the team, so they're still getting their taste of what an NFL season's like this time of year. So it's attacking those with the right mindset and urgency. And yeah, that's how you got to attack these last 4 games.
Mike, what's next for you? Do you have to undergo more testing? What happens next?
Yeah, I'm just kind of living on an hour-to-hour basis right now, just going where I'm told, being a good soldier. So yeah, I'm waiting to hear more and cross the other bridges when we get there.
Hey, Mike, how much a fine line do you have to walk where you want to get back in the game and help, but you also don't want something else to happen to you that could limit you, for the rest of the season?
Yeah, that's something that we'll have to discuss when that time comes. But we got really good doctors, really good. Everybody's always got player health in mind, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll have those conversations when we need to.
Mike, you're Your wife has had some pretty good one-liners regarding your play over the last year or so. Did she say anything to you after the hits?
No, she didn't. She was happy to hear back from me when I texted her after the game, but no, not any good one-liners. I gotta get on her for that. That was definitely a good moment for her, and I feel it feels like a missed opportunity by her. So she's slacking.
Do you get a little time off now from being dad? Like, do you get a little break from the roughhousing with the kids?
I hope not. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm sure she'll probably be a little more cautious and stuff like that. So I might mess with her one day and just be like, oh, and trying to get her. But no, I think should be a normal schedule as usual.
When you went to the locker room, after the hit by Milano, was there in your mind, were you thinking, I'm not going to be able to play, or like what was, how was that resonating at the moment there? What your chances of returning?
Yeah. At first, when I was on the ground, it was just I couldn't catch my breath, and that was the hardest part. And once I did, I was able to get up and walk off, and we got X-rays to make sure everything was good, and the X-rays were cool. And I knew if everything was fine, I was going in. Like you would have had to peel me off that field. And so, yeah, it was never in my mind that, I'm not finishing this game.
Mike, can you take us through the last series, the 4 straight incompletions? What happened there, and how much? I mean, I know you don't want to use it as an excuse, but how much pain were you dealing with? Because it kind of looked like you were. Whenever the next time guys came towards your face, you spiked the ball a little pretty quickly in the drive before that.
Yeah, the drive before that, when they came clean, it's just they got us on a good blitz, and we were hot, so just spiking it at Conklin's feet. I think it was Conklin, just to make sure we didn't get intentional grounding. It was a good, kind of got us in a perfect look. But yeah, the 4th down drive, I think just knowing we had to push the ball downfield because we didn't have that much time left, and I think we only had 1 timeout. So the only one I would want back was, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd down where we had Garrett on the backside. I think I could have maybe extended the play a tad longer and maybe taken a second quick hitch to try to give him more time to get to that area, because we did have an opportunity. I just maybe got a little spooked by the edge pressure on the right. I think I could have figured a way to let the play develop a little longer. And then the 4th down, we had Elijah in a one-on-one hop, and I think he ran a really good route. And if the defensive lineman didn't get a hand on the ball, I think we would have completed that for a 1st down. And then who knows what happens from there, see if we can get a couple more plays to get a shot.
Take a few more from Mike, a few more.
Mike, how? Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, Mike, it seems Robert kind of referred to this a little bit, but it seems like you guys have started a little slow these last couple of weeks. What do you think is the key to fixing that? Why do you think it's been taking till like the second half to get the offense going like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I think that's what today and tomorrow will probably be about, is figuring that out. And I don't know if it starts in practice. Maybe we gotta have that mindset of giving a little more, just whatever it is, just keep finding another gear, another something to be able to fix those issues, because it's really hard to play football that way. When you aren't starting fast, it's hard to overcome as an offense.
Mike, I just wanted a point of clarity as a dad of a 4-year-old boy. You said you were playing with your kids. How old are your kids, and what did they tackle you playing this morning?
So my kids are a little over a year old. I have twins, boy and a girl. And no, they just get so excited when they're up and ready. I mean, they are ready to roll in the morning first thing. So yeah, we're just trying to teach my son how to throw. We have these little plastic balls, so I'm trying to do that. My daughter's just walking around the house saying ho 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 because we're teaching her what Santa says. So it's just 24/7 chaos over there, and I love every bit of it.
Hey, Mike, the last 2 weeks you've played on the road against 10 teams that have 10 wins at this point right now, and basically 1 possession games. What do you guys and your locker room take out of that? I know you feel like there's missed opportunities there, but is there a positive to take out of there? And what's the next step to try to get over the hump and get and win those games?
Yeah, I definitely think there's positives, just to show guys that we've felt for a while now that we are a good football team that can make a run, but actually going on the road and doing it is another thing. So by no means are we satisfied because we didn't win the games, and that's what it's about, is winning games. But there is good stuff to build on it, and we are a pretty young football team at the end of the day, and in a lot of areas. So it's just stuff to improve on and build upon, and guys will know what it feels like to go on the road late in the season and have to win those games. So there's some good, but at the end of the day, we got to find ways to win those games somehow.
Can you take some of the things that you did do well in these last two games and apply those as you move forward? Is that kind of what you're referring to there?
Right, exactly. It's also identifying the things we didn't do well, because you gotta fix those first and foremost. So yeah, you identify the things that need to be changed and corrected, and you correct them, and then you also identify the really good things and shows what we can do as a team, and we just got to build upon that and keep building our confidence.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. We'll go back to the waiting room before Carl. We'll give you about a 10-minute heads up before it starts.